So this half-hour yoga practice is going to be done exclusively at the wall. So what you'll need to do in your house is find a bit of wall space, big enough that you can put your mat lengthways along it. So we're going to start with the mat perpendicular to the wall, and then after a while we're going to move it parallel to the wall. So once you've got that set up, you'll need a block. If you have a yoga block, brilliant. If not, a book or a little box or something that you can lean on, and a cushion or a pillow or something like that. Okay, so we're going to start doing a couple of sun salutations. We're going to start at the top of our mat with the wall behind us. And when you step back into your downward dog, we're going to use the wall and put your heels up against it. So when I'm this way in the camera, you might not see this very well, but hopefully you'll feel it. All right, so bring your feet hip distance apart. Roll the shoulders up towards your ears, drop them down. Close your eyes for a second. Take a big deep breath in. And open the mouth side out. And 2 more of those. Inhale. And open your mouth side out. 1 more. And out. From there, inhale, reach your arms out to the side, stretch up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, bend the knees and fold down over the legs. Inhale, lifting the chest, and then exhale, step your feet to the back of the mat. Maybe you need to walk your hands a little bit further back as well, and rest your heels up against the wall. And then use the power of your hands to push back. So you've got something to press against now, which makes this action a little bit easier to feel. You should feel a lot of lengthening down the 2 sides of the body. Maybe a little bit of a stretch in the upper back as you press the heels against the wall and you push away from your hands, trying to send your hips towards the wall. Okay, on your next inhale, slowly come forward into your plank. And then exhale, take yourself down onto your tummy. Point the toes, shoulders away from ears. Inhale, coming into a cobra. And then exhale, back to your downward dog again. Once again, press the heels against the wall, walk your feet into position, and press the sit bones back. From there, look forward, walk, step or hop, bring your feet back to the top of your mat between your hands. Inhale and lift the chest. Exhale and fold. Inhale, roll yourself all the way back up. And we're going to do 3 rounds of this. We're going to go straight back down on your exhale. Inhale and lift the chest. Exhale, hands down, walk your feet back, and this may need to take a couple of steps to get yourself into position. Possibly your hands need to be further down the length of your mat than they normally would be. Press away from your hands, create that length all the way from the little fingers down the outside of the arms, down the outside of the shoulders, the waist, to the hips, which you're pushing back against the wall. And then getting ready for your vinyasa, inhale forward into your plank. Exhale, take yourself down onto your tummy. Inhale, cobra or upward dog, keeping the elbows hugging in, and then exhale back to your downward dog again, using the wall to push against. 2 breaths here. And then look towards your hands, walk or step, or take a little hop back to the top of the mat. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale and fold back down. Inhale to roll yourself all the way up. And then final round, exhaling back down over the legs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, downward dog. Walk your feet back. Find the wall, push against it. And then when you're ready on your next in-breath, bring yourself forward into your plank pose. Hold it for a moment, and then use an exhale to lower down. Inhale, cobra or full upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Heels against the wall. And then look towards the hands, walk, step, or hop back to the hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling yourself back up. And this time, exhale the hands down to the waist. Okay, from there we're going to do sun salutation B. The back heel will be resting against the wall, and we're going to be coming into a long lunge. So for this one, inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, sit the hips down into your chair pose. Take a breath in, and then exhale, straighten the legs and fold. Inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale the right foot back. And again, you might need to walk a bit further back on your mat. so that you can press your right heel against the wall. Now from there, inhale, lifting yourself up into your lunge. Allow your left knee to lunge forward, keeping it over the ankle. Don't let it go past the toes. Stretch up through the fingertips. Keep pressing that right heel back against the wall, so you've got something to help stabilize you and to push against. One more inhale there, and then exhale, hands down. Step your left foot to the wall, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now leave your left heel at the wall. Step your right foot forward between the hands and inhale, coming into your lunge with the opposite leg leading. So really use that wall to your advantage. Allow your left heel to rest there. Press back against it. Lunge the right knee further forward. Lift the chest and breathe. And then one more inhale. From there, exhale the two hands down to the mat. Step your left foot through. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, lower the hips. Inhale into your chair pose. And exhale, press to stand. We're going to do one more round of that. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, chair. Inhale to hold it. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, this time lead with the left leg. Step the left foot all the way back. Let the heel rest against the wall. Set yourself up for your lunge. And then inhale, lift the upper body away from the ground. Reach up, even lean back a little bit as you lunge that right foot forward. Feel that extra little bit of balance with the left heel against the wall. One more inhale. Exhale, take the hands down. Right foot back against the wall. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now I'm going to step the left foot through. So when you're ready, take it off the wall, bring it between the two hands. Inhale, lifting your chest up, leaning up and back, lunging forward with the left knee. Feel the right heel against the stability of the wall. One more inhale, and then exhale, fingertips down to the ground. Step the right foot forward. Inhale and lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees and roll yourself all the way back up. And exhale, hands down. Okay, so from here we're going to take our mat and put it parallel to the wall. So you're going to put it right up against the wall, like that. And then have your block handy if you've got one. So instead of the vinyasa flow style that I normally teach, this is going to be more like an Iyengar or a hatha class where we just go from one pose to the next and we hold it perhaps a little bit longer than we normally would. Alright, so we're going to start with our warrior two. So I'm going to be doing my left leg on the video to look like the right. And have your left foot a little bit away from the wall, maybe 10 or 15 centimeters, pointing down the narrow edge of your mat. Then step your right foot all the way back. Bring your legs into your warrior two position. But with the wall behind you, you should feel a little bit of contact behind that pelvis. So allow yourself to lean back against the wall. And it might take a bit of time to get the distance right, how far your feet need to be away from the wall to allow space to lean back. Use the wall for your alignment. Get both your shoulder blades against it, both sides of the pelvis. And if your left knee is starting to drift away from the wall, you've got something to push it out against. It may not be touching it, but that's the direction it's going. From there, take your two arms out into your warrior two. Gaze down your left middle finger and lean back. Find that shape in the pose with a little bit of stability, extra balance. And it sometimes might mean that you can get those legs possibly deeper than you normally would. So if there's any more room to take that back foot further back, do that. And then lean back. Allow your shoulder blades to drop down. Keep the neck long, chin tucked. We'll be here for another 3 breaths. Okay, and then from there, all we're going to do is transition over to the other side. So straightening that front leg, Turning those toes in, turning your right foot or the opposite foot to face the narrow edge of your mat. Once again, lunging that knee, stopping when it's over your ankle. Creep the feet further apart if there's more room to do that, and then lean back. Try and feel the wall with both sides of your pelvis. So whatever side you're leading with, in this case the right leg, that side will be closer to the wall, but try and bring the left side back as well. Bring both your shoulder blades flat on the wall. Take the arms out. Make sure that right knee is lunging forward and pull it out towards the wall so it doesn't drift in. Gaze down your right middle finger and hold it there. So for those of you who are used to vinyasa flow type yoga where we're constantly moving, this class will feel quite different. It might take a little bit more patience as we just learn to hold the pose without rushing through the next movement. Okay, and then from there, straighten that right leg. Turn the feet parallel to each other and take the hips back against the wall. So feet are parallel, wide-legged forward fold. Now you can lean your pelvis against the wall so you've got that little bit extra balance. Take your two arms straight up above your head. If you want to hook your thumbs and use that action to hug the elbows in, you can, or just keep the palms parallel and then start to hinge forward. Try and bring yourself parallel to the floor. So at a certain point you might feel like you're going to topple forward. If that's the case, you might want to take your feet a little bit further forward so that you can lean back a bit more. So your center of gravity will need to adjust. And then again, come forward, find that 90-degree angle between your legs and your body. Reach the hands forward, either with your thumbs hooked or palm to palm. Try and find the lift in the chest. So you're not rounding in the upper back, you're using all those back extensors. Imagine your upper body was lying on the floor, and that's the shape it has to keep. You've got the help of the wall, so lean back as much as you can. Take another breath, and then from there, take both hands down onto the mat. If there's any room to get your feet a little bit wider than you normally would, again, you've got the wall to help you, then do that. And then gently fold in. If you're close enough, you can walk your hands through your feet so that they become closer to the wall. And you're imagining that you can bend your elbows towards the wall as well. So you're making a 90-degree angle at your elbows, allowing the crown of your head to drop onto the ground. Now that may not be comfortable for everyone, so you're only going as deep as you're comfortable with, but really use the wall to help find the shape in that pose. Try and still keep your shoulders moving away from the ears. So they're going to be going down your back, but since you're upside down, that'll feel like they're pushing them up. One more breath here. And then slowly walk your hands back out. Stop when they're underneath your chest. And then leave your right hand on the ground, turn your chest to the left, reach up with the left fingertips. Find that rotation in the upper back. Spin the chest open. Again, lean back against the wall with the pelvis, so only a little bit of the weight is in that hand. On your next exhale, bring that hand down. Bring it under your chest, turn your chest the other way, stretch up with that arm. And actually, I should have said, if you have your block handy, you can always put the block under your hand as well. That gives you a little bit more lift in the chest, may make this pose slightly more accessible. Good, take another inhale, and then exhale, bring the hand all the way down. Place your block off towards your left foot, and then bring your hands onto your hips, walk your feet in, or heel toe your feet in a little bit more, but we're going to keep them in that triangle shape and go into our triangle pose. So I'm going to be going to my left, so my right foot will keep facing forwards, my left foot will turn 90 degrees to the side. Arms come out parallel to the floor. Now reach over with that left hand and take it down. And this is a pose I really like to have something to lean on. So you can put your block on the outside or the inside of that front foot and lean onto it with your left hand. Right arm is going to line up with your left one. And then in this pose, the most common fault that people do in class is that they're coming too far forward to get their hand low. So now that you have the wall to help with your alignment, roll your top shoulder blade up and back. So connect both your shoulder blades to the wall. And that top hip will want to turn in. Roll it back against the wall. So there's that revolution of the whole upper body, the whole torso. Now full gaze is up at your top hand. That's often uncomfortable on the neck, so you can look forward or down at your bottom hand. So if you're not using a block, you can rest that bottom hand on your shin, or your ankle, or your foot. But sometimes the higher you have it, the more space you have to really feel this alignment. Good, try and press that right hand side of your body against the wall. Give yourself 2 more breaths here. Just feeling that opening up and that expanding down the side of the waist and the rib cage. And then next breath, bring yourself all the way back up. Well done. Parallel the 2 feet, and then setting up for the second side. So you're going to turn your right foot down to face the narrow edge of the mat. Keeping the legs in the triangle shape, bring your arms out parallel to the ground. So start by leaning back against the wall, and then try not lose that contact as you slowly take the right hand down onto your shin or your block or whatever you're leaning on. Line the top hand up with the bottom hand, so you're making that long straight line with the 2 arms. And then the more you feel this top side of the body come away from the wall, the more you roll it back. Connect both your shoulder blades, connect both sides of the pelvis. So a really good side stretch, this one, often very good for lower back pain. I'm going to be here 3 more breaths. And then slowly bring yourself all the way back up. Well done. Okay, from there we're coming back into our warrior 2 leg position. So switching sides again, start to lunge that left knee forward, keep that right leg straight, lean back against the wall, bring your arms out to either side. And then from here, take a reverse warrior. Now you don't necessarily have to lean on that back leg because you've got the wall there. So you can drop that hand lower and stretch up with the left hand. Take up any shape you like, but keep your left knee lunging forward and keep pulling it out. Good, take another breath in. And then exhale to come all the way back up. From here, either take your left elbow onto the right knee and allow your right hand to make the shape, lining up with the right side of the body, so create the rest of that angle. Or take this hand down the inside, so you're getting a little bit deeper, but still keep your right shoulder blade, the top shoulder blade, against the wall. So lean back in that pose. Find the shape, find the stretch, hold it there and breathe. Take another inhale and then exhale to come all the way back up. Lovely. From there, switching sides, straighten the back leg, lunge the right knee forward. So find your warrior 2 legs. And then reverse warrior. Keep yourself back against the wall. Take your back hand onto the back leg or drop it below. Reach the right hand up, lean back. Keep lunging forward with your front knee and keep pulling that knee out towards the wall if it's drifting in. Good. Take another inhale. Make it a long one. And exhale to come back up. And then extended side angle pose, either leaning on the front leg or taking the hand down. Create the shape and the angle of the left side of the body and then connect your left shoulder blade to the wall. Try and connect the left side of your pelvis to the wall. It may not touch, but that's the angle you're going in, the direction you're going in. So these poses may not always look exactly the same when we're using the wall, but it's how they feel that's important. Good, 2 more breaths here. And slowly bring yourself all the way back up. Good. So from there, taking yourself back into your warrior 2 legs, lunging the other way. We're going to go into our half moon pose now. And I'm going to, if you do have a block or a book, I'm going to get you to hold it in your left hand before you start, preferably on the long end. So you might want to walk back on your mat a little bit because that front hand is going to be down on the ground or resting on your block. And this is probably one of the poses I like most against the wall, because it just gives you, it takes the balance challenge out of it, so it gives you that freedom to really open out and expand. Hopefully you'll feel that. So bring all the weight onto your left foot, or the front leading foot. Take that left hand, either with or without a block, onto the mat beyond that leg. Make sure you've got your balance, and then lean back against the wall so you've got that support. Now this top leg, try and lift it up so you're making a 90-degree angle between the two legs. Turn the toes to point away from the wall, and then line your top arm up with the bottom arm. Full gaze is up at your top hand, or you can look straight ahead, or you can look down. And with this one now, really lean back against the wall. Try and spin your chest open. So again, the wall is in contact with both your shoulder blades, both sides of the pelvis. And really just enjoy that feel of opening up, feeling of opening up. I'm going to be here for 5 long breaths. And then slowly start to make your descent, coming all the way back up. Bring your block or your book into the other hand if you have one. Bring yourself down the other side of the mat. Make the warrior 2 legs to begin with. Look past that right foot and bring your right hand with or without the block down onto the ground. Set yourself up and then roll yourself back against the wall. Lift your top leg, create that 90-degree angle. Stretch up with your top hand. And then just get your feeling of a little bit of balance, but with the support. Use the wall to lean back against, lean both sides of the shoulder blades against it, both sides of the pelvis. And you can really activate this top leg by squeezing the muscles in and pushing the heel against the wall. So it gives you some support there as well. We'll give another 4 long, slow, deliberate breaths here. And then slowly start to bend the standing knee and make your way all the way back up. Very nice. Okay, so from there, we're going to come into the revolved version of the half moon. I'm going to leave my mat like this, but I'm going to be perpendicular to the wall, so you can change your mat position if you like. So what we're going to try and do is have your back foot flat up against the wall. So it takes a bit of estimating how far away you need to stand. One way you can take an estimate is if you stand and face the wall and lift one foot up and place it against the wall like that. That's more or less where you should be. Alright, so I'm going to be standing on my left foot. I'm going to be taking my right foot back, and I then want to have my block in my right hand. So whichever foot is against the wall, that's the same hand you're going to hold your block in. So starting to get your balance, put all your weight into one foot, take the back foot onto the wall, and then try and bring it up so that it's parallel to the floor. So you may need to just change your position slightly. Once you have that foot against the wall, take the right hand with the block down onto the ground, and start by just getting your balance there, reaching your other arm forward. So like a variation of a warrior 3 pose. See if you can get that back foot a little bit higher up on the wall. Now from here, we're going to take a twist to the opposite side. So in this case, to my left. I'm going to press into my bottom hand, spin my chest open, and reach up with my left fingertips. So the revolved half moon pose, the twisted version of what you did up against the wall a moment ago. So again, we've got a lot of help with the balance aspect of this. Your right foot is against the wall, your right hand is on a block, but you're still working hard. All those muscles in the body are having to create the shape and hold it there and breathe. And we'll give it another 4, 3, 2, and 1, and slowly come down. Good. Take a forward fold and hold it for a moment. Okay, and then sitting up for the other side. So you're going to have your block in the opposite hand. So I'm going to take my left foot against the wall. I'm going to try and get it up as high as I can. more or less level with the pelvis. Then I'm going to rest my left hand on my block. To start with, I'm going to reach my right hand forward, and I'm just going to try and take that shape of being as parallel to the floor as I can. Both sides of the pelvis level, both sides of the chest level. And then on your next breath, start to twist to the right. Reach up with your right hand, spin the chest open, create 90 degrees of a rotation. Good. So it's a lot of work for the bottom leg and for the abdominals, basically all the muscles of the trunk. You've got a bit of weight in that bottom hand, but you're pushing the ground away, you're pushing your block away, and the left foot is leaning against the wall, helping with the balance. Good. Give it another 4 breaths or 4 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. And slowly come down and fold over the legs. And then slowly roll yourself all the way back up. Okay, this is where we're going to reach for our cushion. So this next pose may not be comfortable for everyone. I'm going to give you the option of it, because I find it really beneficial, but I also find it quite challenging. So we're going to do a really, really strong quad and hip flexor stretch. You're going to put your cushion down on the ground, just in front of the wall, and you're going to step over your cushion. And the action we want to do is we want to bend our back knee so that you can get the top of your foot, this part of your foot, against the wall. So the wall is going to hold the foot up, essentially. So there's a little bit of balance to start with. I'm going to place that top of my foot on the wall. I'm now going to bring myself all the way down so that my left knee lands on my cushion. So my knee is on the ground, my foot is up the wall. Your right foot will be in front of you, and you're going to come into as upright a position as you're comfortable with. The further forward you lean, the less of a stretch you'll get. And as you find, the further back you take your body, the more sensation you'll get down the front of that thigh. So if you're not getting much sensation at all, you can possibly scoot your knee closer to the wall. The other action you can work on is the pelvic tilt. So the more you tuck the tailbone under, draw the belly button in, the more of that stretch you'll feel into your rectus femoris, into your psoas. So all we're going to do is try and hold this. And for a lot of us, it's very different on one side to the other. So this is my comfortable side. It's not too bad, but the other side I'll be struggling. Let's give it 5 long, deep breaths in and out. And then to come out, you can bring your hands down and simply slide that leg away from the ground and stand up. Okay, so there's no kind of easier way of getting into this. The cushion really is there just for the comfort of your patella, your kneecap. Okay, so let's try the second side. You're going to take the top of your foot against the wall, bring your hands down to the ground, and slowly slide that right knee down onto the mat, onto the cushion or the pillow. And then once you're there, scoot the left foot forward so that it's under your knee. You're in that lunging kind of action. And then lift up away from the ground. And again, try and lift the chest. Lean back just to the point that you're comfortable. So really base your shape on what you're feeling in that front thigh. Obviously, if you have a lot of pain under the front of the knee where you're kneeling on, either double up the cushion, give yourself as much cushioning as you can, or just leave it out. I'm going to try and do another 4 long breaths in and out here. Keep tucking the tailbone, drawing the belly button in. Then slowly bring yourself down, slide that foot away from the ground. Okay, so this next pose, I'm going to have my back to the camera. You're going to turn and face the wall with your mat in this long side. I'm going to go into a wide-legged stance. So you're going to bring your 2 feet out to either side, so hopefully you can see. And then you're basically going to inch yourself into the wall as much as you're comfortable with. So you want your heels to be against the wall, and you're using the wall now to possibly encourage the legs a little bit wider than they naturally would go. So you base it again on what you're feeling in the inside of the groin, in the adductors. Try and keep your toes pointing up, your kneecaps pointing up, And then you might need your hands behind you to help keep your balance. So roll your shoulders back, use your hands to support you. Or you can just hold the pose with your own postural muscles. Every couple of breaths, if you think there's a little bit more space to come closer, do so. Use that wall to your advantage. We're just holding that stretch, holding that pose. One more breath there. And then from there, use your hands to gently slide your body away from the wall bit by bit. Now what you're going to do is bring your 2 feet out in front of you so that they're flat up against the wall. I'm going to turn so I can face the camera again. So you're going to be in this position, straight-legged forward fold with your feet up against the wall. So with that 90-degree angle at your ankles, you might find that bending forward is not as comfortable as normal. So take it to where you're comfortable. If you still have your block hand or even your cushion, pop it between your knees as high as you can make it. And as you fold forward, see if it's in a position to allow your forehead to gently rest on something. So if it's still too far away, get your cushion, make it as comfortable as you like. So we're starting to wind down. It's our second to last pose. And then slowly from there, roll yourself all the way up. Okay, and then our last pose, which we're going to use almost as our Shavasana for this practice, is going to be legs up the wall. So we're going to turn back to face the wall. Start on your side. There's no real graceful way of doing that. And then bring your feet straight up towards the ceiling. Take your head down. Allow your arms to fall out away from the body. And if you have the time, give yourself even up to 5 or 10 minutes in this position. It's a really good one just to calm the nervous system and relax. Good for the circulation in the legs. So close your eyes and treat this like a Shavasana. Maybe you can repeat a mantra to yourself or do some breathing exercises while you're here, or just simply focus on long, slow breaths in and out. So I'll leave you there and I'll switch the camera off. Thanks very much.